What's up, guys? Thank you for joining me for another episode on Word Thinkers. And so for this one, we are no introduction. We are going to jump straight into this video. And so Bushiri on his recent preaching after, he took a little break and I preached about the will of God. And so what was interesting about this preaching and this whole scenario, the setup towards, the conclusion was a little bit, it was... is God rewarding unrighteousness? And so that is what you are getting from the statement. But first of all, Ricky did a great breakdown on this particular video. So we are going to head there. We will come back here and address a few aspects and a few questions that I like to pose to you guys, just to get your mind thinking when we encounter such things. And so here's Ricky.
Says that this is the moment to tell God. So that moment when he was standing there, he says, this is the moment to tell God that I am here and I need my prize. So basically what he was saying was, out of all the troubles they have gone through, so him running away from South Africa for all the court cases that he had down here, him losing his child, so for all of that, therefore, he needs his reward. As a matter of fact, he says, it is time to tell God. He says that you can tell God when to demand the reward for all the troubles that you... So basically he was basing this on a particular verse, which I feel it's a bad translation, which is the rewards that come after for the tribulation, the small tribulations that we face here. No one can imagine. So he takes that particular promise to be present.
So now here's the question that I want to pose. First of all, we need to understand the definition of why, and in the context of suffering. What is he talking about when he's saying he suffered trials and tribulations? What is that context that he's talking about? And the definition that I'm talking about is, how do you define unrighteousness? How do you define sin? How do you find breaking the law? Because here's the thing, if you do that, when you are requested not to leave a certain country, and you do that under the circumstances of sneaking out and becoming a fugitive and then calling that righteousness, I don't know how you define. Like, there's a problem with your definition. And so I feel a lot of where the problem comes in is defining words and scenarios and situations and turning unrighteousness in righteousness. And so one of the questions when I normally ask anybody who follows Bushiri is the running away, was it lawful or unlawful? Was it a sin or was it not a sin? Was it breaking the law or was it not breaking the law? Now, to come out and say that God needs to reward you for your unrighteous deeds, then I don't know what type of a God he's talking about. Because you see, clearly laws has been broken. And now that God needs to come and reward you on the basis of what? You see, that is where I lost it and I got confused. And so that is where some of you will come in and down in the comment section, the ninjas come and comment that he didn't break the law or he broke the law. And you see, the definition is... Now, here's something that I want to ask you. This is where objective and subjective truth come in. Because subjective, it is what he feels and what you feel about what he has done. You understand? But when we are talking about objective truth, that means that it is been established by the government, and no matter who breaks it, it is a law that is been implemented and it's objective to every human being. Whether you live, if you live in South Africa and this law is in South Africa, there is an objective law. It applies to all the citizens of South Africa. And so whether you want to deny the fact that that exists, and so just as objective truth is in the Bible, therefore I feel that people come with a subjective view and they place that on the Word of God as if it is objective to the situation that they are currently finding themselves in. So here's the last question that I would pose you. Is unrighteousness becoming righteousness in the sight of a false believer or a believer or a false prophet or a prophet? I'm just asking a question. And so at the end of the day, I don't understand this reward. Is God going to reward us for our unrighteousness? And so also the particular verse that he used, we understand that verse to be talking about something that will happen future, right? And so he based, and that is what a lot of false teachers and false prophets do. It is that they take promises from God and they take it out of context and they preach it in the form of present glory, present times, and they forget that God said, don't set your mind on the things that is here. Set your mind on the things which is above. And so most of the things that we are going to get as rewards are in heaven, and it's in a future time that God is talking about. So we do want to get those two aspects rightly aligned when we talk about those things. But I do feel that Ricky has done an excellent job in presenting, the breakdown of that particular video. And so do check out that video. I'll link it down in the pinned comments. And so I just felt the need to also bring the aspect of knowing what is subjective, what is objective. And so when you can define those two, you can understand that what is crime, what is sin, what is righteousness, what is unrighteousness, because clearly these people doesn't have an understanding or a definition or wisdom in operating what God has already established as objective truth. So until next time, guys, righteousness is righteousness and unrighteousness is unrighteousness and sin is sin. So at the end of the day, guys, don't turn the way of truth. Don't malign the way of truth. Don't turn righteousness in unrighteousness. Don't become like the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Please, guys. And until next time, you are not above the law. You are subjective to the law. So in that perspective, do understand the definition of wording. Until next time, may God bless you.